Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerdvana, the Kayfabe Nexus. Unfortunately, our first topic today we're going to be talking about is news in the racing world. Um,
We're up. Get out there.
this week we lost a
Give everything you've
NASCAR
got for one lap. No pressure, buddy.
legend, Greg Biffle. Um, him and his family passed away in a plane crash on Friday. So I just wanted to take a minute to highlight Greg and his family. I know that Biffle had a pretty successful NASCAR career. I know that he finished second in 2005 in the standings, and I know that he had 56 NASCAR wins in the Cup Series alone. And sorry, I'm pulling up his stats right now while I'm doing my qualifying lap here. But I pulled it up, and he has
Okay, shut her down.
he had 56 total wins. And he had 19 in the Cup Series with 175 top tens, 13 poles in the Xfinity Busch / O'Reilly series. He had 20 wins, 149 top tens, and 14 poles, and then 17 wins, 12 poles, and 55 top tens in the truck series. I just wanted to talk about that. He definitely is a loss to the NASCAR world, and
Fire it up. Let us know what the car needs.
it's really sad to me, and I hope that his family and friends, are okay during this time. And I just hope that, they find out what caused it, and oh boy, this is a full race. We will not be doing the full race. I will just
There's the green one on the bottom.
but I wanted to just highlight Greg Biffle and,
One low.
talk about some of the great moments he brought the sport and an even nicer person off the track. I know when the big hurricane hit North Carolina a few years ago that he was out there helping everybody, and I think that's really great. So I wanted to start with racing this week. We have a few other topics to talk about, but in regards to racing and all that, like I said, I wanted to start with Greg Biffle, just honor him. I was going to play an older NASCAR game, but to do a race for Biffle, but I figured I would save that for its own video at a different time. But in other NASCAR news, there hasn't really been much this week. The the biggest other thing I know is that Arby's announced that they're forming a sponsorship with Dell Jr. And I think that's really cool. And so other than that, to me, that's kind of it for racing wise. There isn't much else to really talk about with like I haven't seen anything really big that's like newsworthy. We're still kind of in the off season stuff, so I'm trying to think if I think I saw something else, like we're still like seeing who's going to do like temporary rides and for like special races or whatnot. So alright, One of the other things I was going to mention about Greg Biffle too that I hadn't yet was I was going to mention the fact that he won a Xfinity and Truck Series championship, and to my knowledge is the closest driver to win all three of the major series championships. I don't know if that's for sure. I just know that I thought Kyle Busch had done it, but I didn't. But he didn't. So, but now we can topic shift. With Christmas coming up, I was gonna like talk for a minute and decide like what everybody kind of decides is their like favorite. What's their way of knowing the holiday season is upon us? Like for me, the way I know that it's like holiday season is with eggnog, but you know, some people it's like baking cookies all the time. And you know, what's your favorite like holiday thing or tradition? Just kind of depends. Like I know my fiance's family likes to do like enchiladas for Christmas, and that's kind of like a special holiday thing. So like, what's everybody's favorite holiday tradition? But for me, like I said, my two favorite is my family gets like toffee, and then we with the two ones for me are toffee and eggnog. I'm a big eggnog person, but I know eggnog, there's like 2 or 3 different versions of that. I recently found out from my fiance that some people mix it with Sprite, which I think is the weirdest and grossest thing ever. And the funniest thing is my fiance is right next to me, and I'm full on just like making sure she hears that I think that is the grossest thing ever. And it's a poor excuse to waste eggnog, but it's almost as bad as the weirdos who mix it with alcohol. Like, it's pretty great without any of that stuff. So, and I said what I said. But, other than that, I hope everybody has a happy holiday. There's the frustration on a different subject that I was going to like talk about is, you know, we talked about Marvel stuff last week. Is supposedly there's a trailer planned for the Avengers, like we talked about. But the frustration to me lately is AI with it, because I keep seeing like AI clips of like Doctor Doom and Tony Stark and like Doctor Doom, and like there's somewhere like there's an Iron Man and a Doctor Doom, both played by RDJ, and like Captain America's involved. And then there's so many different AI clips this week, and they're like so poorly put together that it's obviously AI. And it just gets frustrating because like I'm trying to stay hyped in the movie for the movie. And then reportedly this week there's like a leaked Brand New Day trailer which is supposed to set up the Avengers. So I don't know, like I definitely like want to be excited for the new movie. I don't want to see a bunch of fake AI trailers. I just wish they would just release it. And some say it's just like a 30-second teaser trailer. And at that point, also, what's the point? But, I don't know, like, for me, I kind of find the whole thing frustrating, like, but it's also hard for me these days to really be fully into the Marvel stuff just because there's so much all at once and it's just kind of oversaturated. and it's none of this stuff that I'm really into with Marvel has really been coming out until Spider-Man comes out, but there's no real news for that, unfortunately. So, like, I just want to see more Tom Holland, especially with where they left that story, and it drives me crazy that it'll have been 4.5 years by the time the movie comes out. But otherwise, like, I really am excited for the next Avengers movie, but I don't know. Like, I've already talked about how I feel like they should just recast like, I really feel like they should recast all the Avengers and just kind of zoom out on the current cast. I've already talked about that, so. But in other news, I'm still waiting for Supergirl to come out, but the big show I've been watching lately is Landman. And Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. I really hate doing weekly episodes. Like, it so drives me crazy. I just want to, like, I'm the type where I want to, like, sit down and, like, binge watch an entire season of something all at once. The hard thing too is, like, the other show that I kind of have been watching, but I haven't watched in like 2 or 3 weeks, is my fiance's been on the, like, Gilmore Girls train. And see, like, the hard thing is like, she wants to watch that with me, and, like, I'm the same way with it. I just want to sit down and watch an entire season at once. And so, like, shows that are like 20 episodes, 40 minutes per season drive me crazy. And then, like, the, like, weekly ones that I'm watching now, where they come out like once a week. But I digress, because I could just rant for hours about the whole TV thing. Like, because, like, some streaming services, like, put it all out at once. Some of them put it, like, once a week, so you, like, stay subscribed. I know Netflix used to put an entire season out at once, but now they, like, divvy their seasons up into 3, because they think that'll, like, make people pay for it more. I don't necessarily get the logic, but if that makes them happy, I guess. I did hear, though, that there's reports that Netflix is going to start putting, like, because they're, like, supposedly the ones who are going to acquire Warner Brothers, that, like, DC movies and, like, products are going to be on Netflix, which I think is kind of cool. So I think that's kind of going to be interesting, because then when Supergirl comes out in a few bits time, I'd be able to just watch it all. And I still have not watched the new Superman movie yet. I know that's crazy. Just had a lot going on. Football-wise, I didn't talk about football last week, but I know that the playoffs are getting closer. The Chiefs are out, so sorry, Chiefs fans. The Lions are also out, though, and they're one of the teams I kind of root for. The Broncos lost this week, unfortunately, and it makes me slightly worried for the postseason, but you got to believe in your guys, and I still believe in my team, so just got to wait and see what happens. I kind of hope, like, that it's kind of a punch in the mouth, where you gotta lock in. But you know, this week the hard thing with nerd stuff is there's not much coming out because of the holidays and like I don't know. I guess in one of the debates that I see a lot, I guess that I could talk about movie wise is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And you know, I think both sides kind of. I promise I'm not going to do that. I think like both sides have point and just leave it there. I do think both sides have valid reasons to feel the way they do about it. Like, I know some people are like, how can it be a Christmas movie? Because it's like a bunch of people like dying and like terrorism and like stuff like that. And they're like, how can it be a Christmas movie? And then there's others who are like, there's Christmas trees everywhere. It takes place at Christmas time. And, you know, I guess that kind of comes down to the same topic, though. Like, before I give my opinion, if you're going to say Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, does that mean Home Alone's not a Christmas movie? I never hear anybody debate on if Home Alone's a Christmas movie or not. And so to me, I feel like, though, if you're going to give Home Alone the Christmas movie title, you got to give Die Hard it. That's my opinion. So if Die Hard is a Christmas movie to you, or Home Alone's a Christmas movie to you, then you got to give the rest of the category the same consideration. And if you don't find Home Alone to be a Christmas movie, then I guess Die Hard's not a Christmas movie to you. But I think one of the things I've noticed with the topic is to some people, they feel like it has to be like we have to acknowledge the like we have to talk about differing factors with it. And to me, I don't think that I think the movie really is what it means to you. Like, a lot of people, like, I like to watch Die Hard during Christmas. It doesn't really matter to me if it's Christmas themed or not. Like, it really, you know, I know some people are like, if it highlights the Christmas themes at all, then it's a Christmas movie. But I think it really just kind of determines what the movie matters to you. If it's a movie that makes you feel some type of way about the holidays, then yeah, I guess you could claim it. Just really depends to me. Like, I like the holiday themes in it. It's just like Home Alone has. I just think, you know, it kind of is narrative-wise what you choose to take from it. You know, just because there's Christmas trees shown in something doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie, you know? Just depends on your feeling on it. But I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about movies and about things like that, though, is you get to make the decision. That's one of those things that I think kind of sucks about a bunch of these movies now, is there's like, we got to do sequels to everything. It's kind of one of my favorite things about the 80s and 90s movies, though, is you get to decide what happens. Like, a movie not having a sequel is kind of great because you, the viewer, get to interpret what happens next. Instead of, like, that's the hard thing with sequels. Like, well, if the movie ends here and then the sequel does, like The Breakfast Club, it's one of my favorite movies is But one of my favorite things about the Breakfast Club, and I've talked to people about it, is everybody kind of is allowed to have their interpretation of what happens with the Breakfast Club. And with the Breakfast Club, like the whole big thing in the movie is what happens on Monday when other people are around. Are they going to be friends still, or are they going to like ignore each other? It's one of the like best things about the song "Don't You Forget About Me" is it kind of talks about the feelings with that, and I think that's great about the movie is you, the viewer, get to interpret what happens, and I think like kind of like it's up to your opinion, and I don't think anybody's wrong for it, but like I kind of have a hard time with sequels in that regard, just because if I decide in my head Die Hard's a Christmas movie, like if I decide in my head Die Hard's a Christmas movie, but you don't want to claim it as a Christmas movie, or vice versa, I don't want to claim it, is one person's opinion or a lot of people's opinion going to hurt you? Like, but I think that's kind of the hard thing with, like, back to the whole sequel thing or, like, follow-ups or whatever. I think that's kind of the hard thing to me as a fan is, like, I don't feel like if one person decides, like, if one person's opinion on the movie is different than mine, like, it's not going to ruin, like, the Breakfast Club isn't going to get ruined for me because one person chooses to take a different thing from it than I do. Like, I guess it's kind of one of those things where, like, if you really like the movie, like, and like I have that problem with certain movies too, where like I see what other people say and I'm like, oh, I guess I could see that. But like if you really love or enjoy something, is it really gonna get ruined to you if like there's certain parts of the movie that, like, as an adult, I've heard one of the actresses say that she wishes that it went differently. Like Molly Ringwald says she kind of wishes that her character didn't get with somebody else. But, you know, that's not going to ruin how I feel about it. Like, I can acknowledge her point on it. But anyway, I think that's the beautiful thing about sequels is that, you know, I think the need for a sequel in certain, unless you always intended a sequel, or if it makes sense, but like with Back to the Future, I didn't have a problem with because I felt like that was kind of like a series that back in the 80s especially, like I was cool with a sequel about it, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I do want to know what happens to, what other hijinks are going to happen, because like the movie is like totally different, and like when they come back they've changed certain things, and so it's like, okay, cool, let's expand on that. Let's see what else changed, or what else, you know, was impacted because of their time playing. But, you know, not everything needs a sequel. And I've seen a lot of people be online like, I heard it a few years ago, I don't hear it as much now, where they're like, we should do a sequel to The Breakfast Club, and we should like have their kids or grandkids or something be like in the same boat, and then we find out what happened. And I don't think I need that, you know? Like, I just think we should like move on with different ideas. But that's enough about what is your guys' opinion about sequels? Do you guys like sequels? Um, but also like the same time with sequels, like it depends on what it is, you know? Like I think there's also a time period for certain too. Like I don't like I'm a big fan of like Days of Thunder NASCAR type thing, but now they're talking about making another one. It's been like 40 years since the first one, and now it's kind of like, why? Or I shouldn't say 40, but like 30, 35 years? Like, so it's kind of like, why would we do that now, you know? Um, so, to me, that kind of goes back to one of those things where just kind of goes down to interpretation. And but then there's movies that I didn't think needed a sequel that ended up being really good. Like I really enjoyed Freakier Friday this year. I went and saw it in theaters, and that was kind of one of those movies that like you kind of interpreted what happened. And what I loved about that movie, and it's one of the reasons I still view very fondly it, and why I liked the second one, is I liked that they left a lot for you, the viewer, to interpret. Like, there's a few things they did for the sequel that, like, if they would have done differently, wouldn't have, like, made the sequel as worthwhile to watch. So they kind of made, like, they broke up one of the love interests from the original movie. But it's played off in a way where you don't sit there and like all about the movie. They just leave it open ended. Like if you like you're not gonna like it's not gonna kill the first movie for you because it's still done in a way where I felt like, oh okay, I could see that. I'm really on the last subject I was gonna talk about, like the last big one I was gonna talk about is the latest trailer for season 5 of The Boys came out. I think I touched on it, but like, I am so excited. The more, like, I've watched it like 2 more times. I keep thinking of where they left us and that last scene of like the world falling apart as they knew it. Like I loved the thought of, first off, like it made me love, like I'm a big Nirvana fan, but like one of the like songs that I don't listen to as much as Heart Shaped Box, actually. I just think it's kind of overplayed. And so I really loved how they actually like kind of helped change my opinion on that song, because it just reminds me of like the world falling apart as they do it. Like, and it's to that song, and like it's just, it like gives me that like happy head rush when I think about it. Like it just makes me kind of giddy. Not because like I dislike the main characters or anything. I always love that, like, and it's like a mini form of dystopianism in my head, because I'm like to me, I, in my head anyway, I love seeing the world fall apart. Like, even if it, like, I feel like in that version of it, it's not going to be a permanent thing. But like, I love seeing like the world fall apart, even if it's for a short while. Just because I feel like that's something to me where you get to see the like you get to see like chaos come out of it. And to me that's like really good. Like I'm not gonna be one of the people who like I'm not gonna be one of the people who like predicts who's gonna like go out and who's gonna win and lose and all that. But I'm really excited to see what happens and to like go from there. And that's where I leave you. Where do you guys see the boys playing out and ending? So I'm gonna leave it for you guys, and this is going to be a shorter episode just because there hasn't really been much going on in like the fandoms that I like. So no real news about Star Wars or anything like that. So no new like Marvel news. We're just waiting on trailers. I'm not really into Avatar, so I haven't seen it. So this is probably where I'm going to leave you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Just wanted to once again say rest in peace to Greg Biffle and his family and friends. There was some other people on board, and I give my condolences to them as well. It's his wife, son, and daughter. And then there was two other people, and I'm pulling up their names just real quick to shout them out. But they also, there was Craig Wadsworth, Dennis Dutton, and Jack Dutton aboard. So just want to make sure everybody got to hear their names as well. And this is where I leave you guys, and I hope you guys have a happy holiday however you choose to spend it. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.